system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need.
Welcome back, everyone. We are back with the 3v3 Joust Mage tournament. My name's Joywolffe.
Hey, I'm Giants.
And we are getting into picks and bans for game one of our Mage tournament. So what kind of picks are we expecting to see here today?
I definitely think that we're going to be seeing a lot of Mage ADCs to be able to rush down all the towers pretty quickly. I think that we're going to go for, I think Baron Samedi is also going to be a god that's going to be seen quite often, considering that he's able to provide a lot of hard CC as well as heals for the team and pump out a little bit extra damage as well. So especially and on Steve, a former ADC player, I'm expecting him to also be picking up gods like Soul and maybe even in Oleron.
Yeah, unfortunately for Steve, even though he loves to play them in mid, can't play hunters in this tournament. But
True.
Expecting a lot of, like you said, the Baron Samedi, which has been banned, but those more utility / healing centric gods could be very popular, as we see already 3 of them banned out to help aid. And again, another Nox, another popular support pick taken off the table. So we're really seeing what these teams are prioritizing with their bans already.
Yeah, 100%. And talking about teams, it seems like ThighPillow is actually going to be filling in this match for the Swift Fish. Just as a quick stand-in, I'm not too sure if Swift is going to be coming back onto the team, but at least for the time being, Pillow is here for comfort.
Yeah, hopefully if the Order side team does move on, we'll see if we're able to get Swift back, or we will be remaining with the ThighPillow.
Yeah, and I think Nox actually is quite a good ban because it is able to combine with a lot of different gods to add a large amount of CC, as that silence bubble is going to be able to take up half of the lane practically in the Joust map, as we do see the first god as Outwash and still locked.
Yeah, Outwash, really good at applying anti-heal. Empty the Crypt's a huge ult, spreads across the entire lane. And, another god with healing that kind of maybe countered by Outwash, Zhong, and then the Mage ADC, like you mentioned earlier, Soul.
Yeah, definitely something that's going to be looked out for is a lot of multiple gods with ways to get healing and lifesteal, and Zhong, and Soul are 2 of the premier mages that are going to be able to do that. And Soul, of course, has those augmented auto attacks and auto attack scaling that's going to be able to really punch down towers pretty quickly when you're at max solar power. So hopefully there's going to be a good response coming out from P2 and 3 for the team of POWAAAAHHHH.
Now, this Raw, again, another god with healing, but just the ability to completely remove somebody from the map with his Searing Pain, just that big snipe can absolutely chunk. So, excited to see that. Something I'm surprised we haven't seen yet is the Zeus. Zeus could be an absolute menace in Joust, so he was one of the gods that I was initially thinking would be super prominent, and it seems like no one has really prioritized him yet.
Yeah, I mean, the god is very hit or miss. You do an absolute ridiculous amount of damage, especially with your full combo going for that chain lightning, but a lot of the times you're very, very exposed to forms of CC, especially champions like Thoth, which has been banned already, can just outrange you, and you'll never be able to get that shield chain lightning combo. Especially other champions like the Eset, which is now banned as well, who can just silence and stun you and just CC lock you down. It's pretty rough out there for a Zeus, but if you're able to have a proper front line, it's definitely a hard carry for sure, but maybe not in a mage tournament like this.
Yeah, Another thing worth mentioning is that you are not allowed in this tournament to build any item that gives you protection. So these will be some very squishy mages. So things like the raw snipe will do an excellent job of absolutely deleting somebody from the game, putting the other team in grayscale.
Yeah, 100%. And another reason why Baba Yaga and Thoth have been banned is because just scaling items. Thoth with the ridiculous amount of flat pen that you get with the passive, as well as with the flat pen that's so cheap now into the build, where you can just go and just do true damage against your opponents pretty soon and quickly into the game. As you do see the final 2 picks locked in for game number 1 of the SDL 3v3 Joust Mage tournament. It's a Freya and a Raijin.
And with that, we'll be hopping into game 1 shortly. If you'll stick with us, we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are getting into our first game of the Joust Mage tournament. This is the Shoulda Been Challenger team versus 4 Sharkface97. I am Joywolffe.
Hey, I'm Giants.
And let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, quick start there. It's for Sharkface just getting that red buff before Shoulda Been Challenger gets in right away. As they're going to look for a quick invade here, actually. But I don't think they're going to be able to pull this one off right away. They're going to go for actually engage here. Trying to steal a couple abilities, but that raw beam is going to be able to secure it for the upwash. Banishment not going to be able to follow up with anything, but I'm expecting some really good combos here with the banish setup that's going to be given for both raw steering pain and outwash's hollow empty the crypt. I think it's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's strange to see say that banishment looks like the best setup for either team, but that's what you get when you're dealing with 3 mages on each side.
True.
Both
yeah,
teams kind of wait for waves, as this is Joust. Not much to fight over in the early games.
No, and especially if this is going to be a best of 1, I think that both teams are going to try to play as safe as possible early. As considering everyone is a mage, there's going to be a lot of scaling happening. And talking about scaling, is if this Freya is going to be able to get up in a couple of items, it's going to be very, very scary to anyone on the side of Sharkface to deal with, as a couple of auto attacks is a very quick and easy pop for any mage.
Yeah, Freya's kind of like Thanos. She gathers her infinity rings, and once she puts them all on, she can just snap her fingers and delete half the enemy team.
Very true, but you have to hit your auto attacks for that to happen. So hopefully with the ranged autos, it's not going to be punished as hard in this matchup where you're just right in front of another player versus in a conquest match. You're going to get a full engage, actually. You're going to go straight for the outwash. You're going to get Supernova and Recall Demons, as it's going to be a quick pickup onto 1 there. POWAAAAHHHH, first blood right away at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That was quick.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to blink in, but Stypin really making it happen there. Well, just blinking and dropping the ults and making it happen.
Yeah, it was a beautiful engage, actually. The ability to just insta-slow and go for the stun, where forcing out the beads from the outwash, is going to be able to allow them to go for another engage onto that outwash, who's now a level down. Any sort of CC pop, there goes the weasel. That outwash is going back into his own crypt.
Yes, definitely. There is a lot of damage coming out of 4 Sharkface that could just absolutely pop you, one-shot you.
Yeah, see, this is really, really interesting timing, as they are going to start the red, get the smalls, but because of the wave pressure, it looks like they're just going to get this for free. That's going to have to waste the... Oh, lots of damage onto the outwash. Outwash is worried a little bit about that positioning. They are going to be able to pick up that red pretty much for free. Small minions and large minions is going to go for this blue buff as well. Full contestion coming out from Sharkface on every single cooldown. As Empty the Crypts is going to be able to come out. As there's going to be an attempt on the banish, but he's immune The Soul, really nice immune on that one. It's going to go for full ulti, and the re-engage is there. Can you get the last kill, Raijin? Unfortunately, you do miss with Valkyrie's discretion, saving the life of the Freya. Ooh, feels bad to be a Freya with everyone dying around you.
Yeah, we're Sharkface already pushing down that single tower only 4 minutes into the game. This has been some intense pressure. You know, and without a front line, you know, it's really hard to stop this kind of aggression. You know, there isn't a whole lot of peel that you can do. So, you know, you're really just relying on your positioning to keep you safe, and you know, playing smart to make sure that you don't die is going to be the name of this entire tournament.
Yeah, 100%. And I bet you Freya is just saying, hey guys, play safe. I scale, we scale. We can beat them if we scale. And not looking good for them right now as the early game pressure coming out from a Zhong is absolutely insurmountable right now for Shoulda been Challenger.
And I bet Stipend's just like, all right, my blink's up. You know, it looks like he upgraded it, so it's on less of a cooldown. He's just waiting for that ult to come back up. That way you can just blink in and do it all over again.
Yeah, 100%. As getting that slow into the multi-man potential stun for a really long duration onto onto the Freya, who doesn't have any beads to speak of, is going to be a big target for them, especially considering that they have a lot of wards looking over these corners, knowing exactly where everyone is.
This is a early Bull Demon King.
Yeah, as the Searing Pain does unfortunately miss, and there's not much that really Sharkface can, Challenger can really do on this. Is they're just going to be able to pick up the full Bull Demon, and they're not even going to be able to clear wave, as the rest of Sharkface is going to be able to just walk in. There's a blink right into the slow. Lots of damage coming off. There's going to be a pop. There goes Raw. And there's going to be another follow-up onto the Puch. Full commit here, as there's no towers to defend you here. Just play safe on the tower, Freya says, as they're going to watch both the teammates die instantly.
And this is exactly what these mages can bring. Instant damage on demand. Just the blink recall demons from Stipend just absolutely hitting everyone, coming up huge for that team fight for the Sharkface team.
Yeah, that was a really, really good engage. And I don't think they were really expecting the aggression, even though they knew that the immunity on the tower means that it's not going to be able to protect you at all whatsoever. So just allowing for the full blink engage from that Zhong, who is on a full Bancroft now, so the lower HP he gets, the stronger he becomes, is a really, really rough situation to be in, as Freya just barely walks out of the poke from the rest of the team from Sharkface. My goodness.
Yeah, and we can already see the dividends of the collecting these red buffs, getting the kills, taking the Bull Demon King and tower. Kaaahn, I believe, is about 3 levels up. This man is farming, whether it be buffs or the enemy team. He is absolutely swinging, as is the rest of the Sharkface squad.
Yeah, this is going to be really rough for Shoulda been Challenger. Really going against the name that they're, or going with the game, I guess, for this game, as I would actually honestly be interested to see whether or not they could have froze that wave to try to bleed out as much farm as possible from the Sharkface team here. But I bet you Sharkface is looking at this team and being very, very proud.
Yes, definitely. Something also worthy of note, Kaaahn with the Divine Ruin for anti-heal, as should have been Challenger. Doesn't look like they've got any with their first items, and potentially building into it could be ThighPillow, but we'll see what that item turns into once it's fully upgraded.
Yeah, I can only imagine that it's going to be a Divine Ruin, considering there's 2 Bancrofts on the other side, as well as you can see that they're going to be building some Typhons as well. As this Zhong is just looking for a slight angle to go for a blink ult play here. And, looks like he's just going to try to poke this tower down as much as possible without taking too much damage. Something to note, we actually didn't speak about this, but the Zhong 3 is providing a lot of DPS actually on these towers, giving half of an auto attack every auto attack, or one auto every other total auto of damage onto these towers. Something that a lot of other mages can't provide unless you play someone like the Soul or Freya to take down towers.
And even so, Freya's gonna take, as we said earlier, she has to put her rings on, but that takes time. Soul and Zhong are ready to just push down your towers, and even now, before the 10-minute mark, they're already pushing down a Phoenix. So
yeah,
really seeing the dividends of this draft. It seems like for Sharkface97 came with a plan, and they are definitely executing it to a T.
Yeah, 100%. I would love to see some wards coming from Challenger onto the bull demons. They are going to be able to pull one up, but they sniffed out the Puch, who's completely by himself, going to blink stun into the ulti there as Demon Bag, is going to empty. And Recall Demons is going to pick up a quick kill onto POWAAAAHHHH. Zhong is looking mighty deadly in this match. There's not really all that much that Shoulda Challenger can do to really contest this. Looks like they're going to go for the play. Maybe a raw Searing Pain. Oh, a little too late. Now they have a really good angle on this one. Raijin's gone here on the flank as they're going to be able to try to walk out of this one. Raw is slow immune. There's a little bit of a BM there from Raijin as ThighPillow is going to be able to fall out of this map. And there's going to be Valkyrie's discretion is going to be able to get himself out with a nice beads to get rid of that taunt. And that's going to be another tower down just like that. 10 minutes in.
Sharkface are already knocking on the Titan door. I wonder if they're going to go for the end here.
Empty the Crypts is a really good deterrent to stay, not today, as they're going to be able to walk out of that one. But for what I say, constant pressure underneath this Titan is going to be really hard to defend, especially with a level 10 Freya, with only, actually now with 2 rings.
Yeah, It's really rough unless you hit some beautiful banishes to have your Freya in this position be able to defend the base. But Empty the Crypts does do a lot, so they'll be Shoulda Been Challenger will be calling on POWAAAAHHH quite a bit, it seems, to help them with the base defense.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really difficult one, like we've said before. But you were right, that is a Divine Ruin coming out to the Raw. And, of course, there is some anti-heal out of the Puch already. Someone who has been nerfed repeatedly into the Joust meta, as it is a very well-picked character. Compared to its Conquest counterparts, it's going to be a big explosion there. Lots of damage coming out onto the Soul and Zhong there. A little bit of a warning sign, perhaps, of what could come from this banish combo. It's going to look like they're going to get a lot of damage, or try to get a lot of damage on this next wave coming in before the Phoenix spawns up. It's going to be a blink, Zhong ulti, quick beads, and the shell is going to be coming out in the response. It's going to look for the end here. It's going to get a quick kill into Stipend. Stipend's going to fall. There's lots of damage from the Raijin ulti. He's going to be able to go for the body blocks off of the Soul is fantastic, but it's not going to be enough, as that's going to be the game. As Sharkface is going to pick up game versus Shoulda Been Challengers in a quick 11-minute game.
And something I had noticed right before the fight broke out, Empty the Crypts on a little bit of a longer cooldown still wasn't up yet. So they really planned that perfectly around when POW would be able to use that Empty the Crypts to just go in there before that big deterrent was up, to make sure that they would be able to burst down the rest of that Titan and claim the win.
Yeah, and what a decisive win that was. They had Sharkface in their heart and soul, determined to win this for them, and they did it in a stunning fashion as well. So that is the first game of our 3v3 Joust Mage tournament. What do you think about these characters? I think we're going to see a lot of teams picking Zhong and Soul, that's for sure.
Yeah, if they're not banned out, then hard to deny how successful they were. I mean,
definitely
303, 315, 206. Those are some pretty beautiful stat lines.
Maybe they should have been Challenger. I don't know. But that is game 1, as we are going to be looking into our next game. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be right back.